I'm over here. Okay, let me just make sure this paper is up here correctly so you can see all of it. Lower a little bit. Okay. So today we're talking about 6/8 time in a song where instead of saying 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, we can say 1 and 2 and That's generally true for 6/8 time, but not always. The 6 tells you how many beats are in a measure. The 8 tells you what kind of note gets a beat. Usually an eighth note only gets a half a beat, but in 6/8 time, the eighth note gets a whole beat. So here's a picture of an eighth note. An eighth note has a flag on it. This is the stem. This is the flag. Here you see a picture of 3 eighth notes together, very common in 6/8 time. Each one of those beats has a stem and a flag. They're sharing the flag, but they all have one. Every one of those kinds of notes get one beat. One can be 1, it could be the number 2, or it could be the and or the 1 and 2 and makes 6. And it's so much easier to say than 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Here it tells you there are 6 beats in a measure. Here's a picture of a quarter note. And you're learning something very different if you're working out of a lesson book, because we're not dealing with 6/8 time. But sometimes fake book music uses it, and it's usually worth at least talking about. Here you have a quarter note. A quarter note no longer gets one beat. It does in your lesson book if you're in a lesson book. Here it's going to get 2 beats. A half note is an open note with a stem. It usually gets 2 beats, but now it's going to get 4. So every note that you've heard of before everything's doubled. These are called 16th notes. They usually get a quarter of a beat. Now they get a half a beat. This is a quarter note with a dot. It usually gets, a quarter note gets 1 beat. In 6/8 time, it gets 2 beats. So it's going to get the 2 that the quarter note gets. The dot says, whatever this is worth, give it half more. So it gets the 2 plus half of 2 is 1 more. So it ends up with 3 beats for every dotted quarter note. That might be 1 and that makes 3. Here we have a half note, an open note with a stem and a dot on the side, which means it gets longer timing. In this case, it gets the half note. We go back to half note, gets 4 beats. So it's going to get those 4 and half of 4, which is 2. So altogether, it's going to get 6 beats. And so we're looking at 6/8 time. You could say an eighth note gets 1 beat and you have 6 beats. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. But we're going to say 1 and 2 and instead. They should be even. 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and And we're going to look at the second page of Oh, How He Loves Us. And my page is not as dark as yours, but I hope you can see it. So actually, why don't we look at the first page? It'd be a little easier to have less writing on it. So here's the first page. Make sure you can see the first line there. So you may not see this because my copy's a little light in places, but this is an eighth note. So that eighth note is going to get 1 beat, 1. So for whole measure, in between the black lines, we have to have 1 and 2 and 6 beats. That gets 1. A quarter note gets 2 beats. So here you're going to get 1 and here we have another eighth note, so it only gets 1 beat, and we're on 2, 2, and Here's a quarter note with a dot, and if you go back to your chart, a quarter note with a dot gets 3 beats, 1 and This kind of rest is a quarter rest with a dot, and this is going to get the whole second beat, or 2, 2, and So we get 1 and 2 and 1 and 2 and This is not going to make a lot of sense to you to begin with, but I'm explaining to you why some of these notes, when you look in the circle, the and goes with the note. Some of them, the and is not going to go with the note. I'm looking for one where it doesn't go with it. That actually doesn't happen in here. Only the second note has an ah. The first note appears to always be the quarter note, which gets two of the beats, one and ah, two and ah. I'd like you to listen to this video a number of times. I want you to I'm going to send you a picture of this, but I want you to get a plain sheet of paper, and I want you to copy down here. The best way to learn something is to write it. It isn't going to make a lot of sense to you right now, and I'll do more videos as you begin to learn what this is about. This is not regular timing. This is unusual timing. 6/8 timing is unusual. You usually see 4 on the bottom. You see 4/4 or 3/4, sometimes 2/4. But this tells you that a quarter note does not get one beat anymore. And you're used to seeing the quarter note get one beat. So that's it for How He Loves You, and we'll be talking more and more about timing and how to count. I think if you go and listen to songs a lot, you won't need to count as much. But the Oh How He Loves You or How He Loves You, that was a complicated counting issue and you're having trouble with that one. Or maybe you're a different student and 6/8 time is just really unusual and hard to understand. So I hope this helps. Bye-bye.